For real? That's what you gonna go with? For real? They tried to drug you for real? You wasn't in your right sorts? For real? You're only apologizing to the people that send you super chats because you don't want them to walk away from you while you looking stupid. But that's neither here nor there. Curtains up. You's a weirdo. But to go as far as to saying somebody allegedly drugged you to justify your dumb explanation on why you think the earth is flat is absurd coming from someone like you, a goofy nigga, a whole goofy nigga. You gonna say niggas drugged you. You could have came up with something else, but you say niggas drugged you.
But I definitely was not myself that night. And I thought certain people were my friend, you know? And you don't want to believe that your friends would do certain things, but yeah, it's definitely possible. But yeah, I was just not in my right state of mind. I apologize for allowing y'all to see me lose my cool.
You're a weirdo. Stop making excuses and take the motherfucking L like you supposed to, nigga. A nigga caught you out there and you're lying, debunked your theory and shot your theory down. And you believed it all your life, too. And now that your theory has been debunked, I don't think the people gonna fuck with you no more. First, you started beefing with the Puerto Ricans. Shout out to my Puerto Rican people. First, you started beefing with the Puerto Ricans. You beefing with Eminem. You beefing with all types of people. And everybody don't see it as you trying to stay relevant. Nigga, you know you washed up. So you gotta basically be the Charleston White of rapping. You're the Charleston White of rapping. You talk too much and you talk about just random. So now everything that you saying goes into question now. Now a motherfucker gonna look at you and say, man, show me some proof, nigga, or shut the fuck up. You're the dude who just brings up theories and don't do no research. None. None. Let's see what Professor Dave. Shout out to Professor Dave. Let's see what Professor Dave got to say about this bozo. Because I'm just dying to see what Professor Dave got to say about this fucking weirdo. He's a weirdo. Let's see what Professor Dave says. Cause he the one that really got you out here looking stupid. So I'm gonna just go viral off of just making him air your shit.
You came on the show on Zoom and talked to Lord Jamar and see if you can talk some sense into him. So I went ahead and did that, and then there was the whole fiasco of getting the footage from that. But luckily, I was able to recording it on my end was able to solve that problem. And then so that piece went a little bit viral, and it also kind of ruined Lord Jamar's life apparently because he has been butthurt about me nonstop for the past 6 months or however long it has been since I humiliated him on Godfrey's show. Since then, I went back on Godfrey's show to talk to he and Dante, and it was actually a great conversation. Explained all kinds of cool science stuff, and it was a great show. I posted that on my channel as well. But then, since then, kind of have not. Or no, wait, actually, there was one more thing. Then he and David Weiss and that other guy who made the stupid documentaries had this pathetic cope session where they were all whining together about how mean I am. So I did a video on that too. too. And then, as far as I recall, that was the last time I did something about him, and I haven't thought about him for a single second since. But this guy just cannot get past this. He was humiliated so bad, and probably is reminded of that on a daily basis. And so I was informed that he went on this Vlad TV, which apparently he used to go on a lot in the past, but then there was some kind of falling out. I don't really know what the story is there, but he's been on there again recently, and man, just from what I hear, is coping really hard still about how badly I humiliated him. And so, yeah, he can't really seem to get past this. So we're going to watch this and react to this now, and see if we can.
That man destroyed your whole theories. He fucked around and destroyed your career. He destroyed your career because he proved to you that you was a fucking dummy.
Pour a little lemon juice on the paper cut, because why not? He's a complete jerk and deserves every ounce of humiliation that he gets, and then some. So that's what the video is going to be today. No booze for this reaction video. It's actually mid-morning, and I am also slightly under the weather. Unfortunately, it's kids went back to school last week, and obviously came back with some stuff, and so and I'm actually going to New York in a couple days for that vaccine debate, so I'm trying to rest and hydrate and do everything like that. So that's what we're doing. We're reacting to Lord Jamar on Vlad TV a few weeks ago, or last month or something. So that's the video. Let's get started. Let's take a short break before the mayhem to introduce today's sponsor. Clearly, Lord Jamar is one of the biggest losers in human history. He dropped out of the 9th grade, rapped a little, and then became a pointless flat earther. None of us want to end up like him. But what can we do? My friends, you gotta have skills.
Computer hacking skills. Girls only want boyfriends who have great skills.
Computer skills, that's the ticket. So how do you get those? Well, let me introduce you to Boot. Have you ever wanted to learn how to code? Boot.dev is for you.
Well, last time we talked about the whole flat Earth thing. And
He back on Vlad with his master. The one he had said he wasn't fucking with no more. Hypocrite Mark, number one. Here,
you
Mark.
still maintain the Earth is flat. Let's
Now-
talk about it. So, well, I saw some stuff on the internet that I thought was a little bit funny, right? When it comes to your stance, when it comes to this, right?
You run back to Vlad, and Vlad about to clown you for being fucking proving that you was stupid. That shit is amazing how you diss a nigga and then you run back to, you diss a nigga and you just like how people are nowadays. You victimize yourself and then you run to everybody to get everybody not to team up and not fuck with that person over there. And while everybody's in the crowd like, yeah, we ain't gonna fuck with them people now, fuck that. Lord Jamar said we ain't fucking with them. You sneaking back. You sneaking back while everybody ranting and raving and you fucking with the people.
Yeah, but the internet's a funny place. Mm-hmm. Now, one of the terms that you coined, like for example, is white people are guests in the house of hip hop, right? You said it's about Eminem to the point where Eminem had to respond, right?
Mm-hmm. The idea that you would try to assert yourself over Eminem as, like, I'm not even a rap, like, fan or anything, but Eminem, like, who even knows who this guy is? Like, Eminem is one of the most famous, if, like, it's absolutely, like,
You took the shot at Eminem because your career was washed up, and Eminem was the trending person that. And what better way than to become relevant than to take a shot at somebody who's doing numbers? You're the rap game's Charleston White, my nigga. That's exactly who the fuck you is. You're the rap game Charleston White.
ego on this guy is off the charts.
People asked if you're a guest in the House of Science.
If I may be a guest in the House of Scientism, because scientism is a religion that people practice. See, there's science,
Is real science something that's observable and repeat?
So the real science that's observable is that you're a fucking liar, you're dumb, you make up theories in your head, you paint narratives, you try to change shit and finesse people. Listen to your fucking reason. Listen to your explanation on a person asking you a direct question. If you was a guest in the house of science, you gonna say you a guest in the house of scientism. Nigga, answer the fucking question that's asked to you.
The house of scientism, because scientism is a religion that people practice. See, there's science, there's real science, something that's observable.
So how the fuck if science and scientism is something that people practice? If scientism is something that people practice, right? And you claim that you know you got knowledge and you know of science, how the fuck you gonna be out here saying that the earth is flat, you fucking dumb nigga?
And repeatable.
You mean like physics and astronomy and chemistry and biology and all the shit that you never learned because you dropped out in the 9th grade and you're an uneducated moron? No, so look.
Wow. You dropped out of school and you trying to preach to everybody like you got knowledge yourself? Huh?
Nobody would say you're a guest in the house of science. That's like what you said about Eminem is racist as shit. You're a guest in the house of hip hop. You can't be in hip hop because you're white. That's racist. If anyone was to say you're a guest in the house of science, that would be racist as well, because black people can do science, and they do science. There are many, many, many black scientists, and you are totally free to learn science whenever you want, buddy. But you don't do that. You just throw little tantrums like this, where you refer to the entire body of scientific knowledge as scientism, because reasons. In actuality, scientist.
He's a fucking idiot. That's the reason. The reason is he's a fucking idiot that tries to put shit in his own category when he really don't know what the fuck he talking about. This is a lot of motherfucking people roaming the street. Shout out to my boy Slow Steve. You're 914 Christian Gray. What up, man? I'll see y'all Tuesday.
Is not a thing. That's just what butthurt science illiterate morons say when presented with actual real science that demolishes their entire fragile worldview, which is what you have here, right? You had an opportunity after I humiliated you to reflect, to do some soul searching and say, you know what? Everyone in the entire world is making fun of me right now, or at least everyone in his, everyone who watched that and knows him. Maybe it's time to get a little bit of critical thinking going here. Acknowledge that I fell for the dumbest hoax in the history of humanity. Revise my stance a little bit. Like you could have come out of this thing looking really good if you said you
could have came out of this thing looking like a true legend if you would have wiped the egg off your face and you'd have said, you know what, you might just be right. I'm going to go back and research the research, and then we could have another, you want to try and be an emotional nigga who could be aggressive to people who don't know you, but I know of you. You've been getting punked in this city your whole existence, nigga. That's why you moved to Brooklyn, and then you got this tough guy persona, which all them Brooklynites don't even know that you really one of the softest niggas to roam around, my nigga. You ain't doing nothing.
You know what? Like, that guy was a little bit of a jerk, but I kind of needed it. Flat Earth is really stupid. I'm going to try better now. I'm going to try to educate myself. You would have saved a lot of face, right? You could have actually come out of this on top. Not necessarily on top, but just not looking like the butthurt little child that you are. Like, this whole scientism thing. I mean, go ahead, spin your wheels. Let's see.
And can be done, over and over again and get the same results. Then there's scientism, where certain things are told to you and you just have to take their word for it.
No, that's not how science education works. That's how...
So you want everybody to take your word for it that the earth is flat. Why? Because you, Lord Jamar, brand Nubians, the wackest nigga in brand Nubians, the softest nigga in brand Nubians. You last in everything. You even last on education. Damn, I didn't know you dropped out in 9th grade. Is that true? Is that true that I'm more educated than you? But you talking to me like I'm not educated? You're uneducated, my nigga. You're really dumb to think the earth is flat. You gotta be a dumb nigga. Whatever you was smoking growing up was really fucking your brain up, or whatever you was taught really, whoever taught you fucked you up. Because for you to be thinking that theory, what up, eh? For this nigga to be thinking that theory, man, shit is retarded.
You think science education works because you're uneducated and you're lying to yourself to feel better about being too stupid and lazy to get an education. When you get an education in the sciences, it's not just some guy at the front of the room dictating out of a book and saying, these are facts. You must memorize these. That's religion, right? That's dogmatic religious scripture. When you learn science, you do science. Right? When I got my chemistry degree, you do science, you do chemistry. You go into the lab and you run reactions. You learn how to do chemistry, right? You do science such that you can demonstrate the veracity of these scientific statements or these theories or whatever it is for yourself. You can see for yourself that they work. This is even in high school, right? I said this a million times in Flat Earth videos. But when you're in high school physics, which you never took because you're a 9th grade dropout, you do basic experiments with little ramps and blocks and pendulums and things like that to demonstrate Newton's laws, right? You use computers.
So you ain't even get a GED, nigga? You talking all this smart shit? Are you stupid? You a stupid nigga. Hello? Hey. Yeah, I called just to see what you was doing, checking in with you. I called your brother too. Okay. Oh yeah, she started her shit. That's right. Tell her I said congratulations on her business. Tell her I need my free tat too, though. Alright. Okay, if I gotta help, then I'll help get the ink or whatever. That ain't nothing. Ink and needles, right? Alright, I'll come down there and we'll chop it up. Don't worry about it. Okay, well, thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your dinner. Love you. All right. All right. Yeah, nigga. I'm a father too, nigga. Make sure mine's is super straight, nigga. Ain't that what you supposed to do as a dad, nigga? But back to you. You really gonna say they drugged you, guys? Allegedly? You gonna say they drugged you, guys?
Software to track the motion of objects, and then you get graphs that show you velocity and acceleration and all these things, and then you use them to derive Newton's laws. And you go, okay, I'm proving to myself that F equals ma. I am proving to myself that acceleration is the derivative of velocity, or whatever it is, if you're doing calculus-based physics. You do all this stuff, and it is observable and repeatable. You observe what the object does. You repeat it because you run the trial like 10 times, and then you get the average value. You don't know any of this shit because you dropped out of fucking 9th grade. Moron, okay? So stop whining about, oh, you just believe what you're told. That's what you do. You go on the internet and you watch videos by fucking Eric Dubay, and then you believe everything he says implicitly because it makes you feel smart and special. You are the one in a religion. You are the one in a cult. If you get an education, you can get out of that cult because you can gain actual real knowledge.
You are the one practicing scientism. Lord Jamar, you fucked up. Niggas from the town know who you are, and you just out here looking bad, cousin. Damn. And I don't feel bad for you because you did it to yourself. You sat there and had an opportunity not even to jump out the fucking window. You had an opportunity not to jump the fuck out the window with no fucking bungee cord on, and you said, fuck it, I'm just gonna say it. We're gonna do it, and you're gonna listen, and you're gonna believe me because I know Not this is what I was told and I'm an idiot and I followed it and the shit was wrong. You're gonna run this shit and stretch it to the end though. But thank you for allowing me to become viral off of you, goofy ass nigga. Cause you's a total goofy, B. And we about to air your shit all the way out. I been knew you was weird. Stunner gang. Shout out to my you alright? Shout out to my brother Stunner gang, man. Shout out to the grandman, man. They asked me not to do this, nigga, and I let you live for a minute. And then you started talking reckless through the Instagram DM. Knowing damn well you won't even say that to nobody's face unless it's one of them. Cause I'm a punch you in your face. Cause soon as you get to talking aggressive, I'm gonna shoot a right cross to your whole nose area and try and bust this open. Make it bleed or something. Try and bust your mouth open or something, nigga. Soon as you get to talking and it sounds aggressive and you about to elevate tone, I'ma sock you, dumbass, nigga. I'm the nigga. I'm not one of them niggas that play.
Give it a fucking shot, dude.
For example, saying that, outer space has, what did they say? Not just weightlessness, but they say, oh yeah, they talk about the vacuum of space.
The lack of gravity.
Right. There's just a vacuum, though. They say the vacuum of the vastness of space. And because of that...
there's no oxygen, there's no
Right.
air.
So they say, and because of that, light acts differently than it does here on Earth.
Yeah. Light interacts with particles, so in space where there are virtually no particles, there's nothing to interact with, right? The speed of light in a vacuum is a universal constant, and then in Earth's atmosphere, when light travels through air or water or something else, that affects light. It's actually not that hard to understand. Also, you're getting tripped up on this weightlessness thing. Remember how you don't know what weight is? Right, so if you're talking about being in low Earth orbit, no, you're not weightless. You have weight. You have something like 90% of the weight that you would on the surface of the Earth. Actually, probably a little more, but you can calculate it using Newton's law of universal gravitation. If you were way, way out in space, nowhere near any massive object, yeah, you'd be weightless, because weight is the force applied by an object by virtue of its position in a gravitational field. Okay, so because we're near Earth, we exert a downward force because Earth is pulling us down. So if Earth is pulling us down, then we exert a downward force, right? That's why if you stand on someone's head or chest, they're going to feel force on them because the Earth is pulling that person down through them. So that can hurt depending on your mass, right? A very massive person, 300 pounds or whatever, is going to exert more force, downward force, than a little baby or something.
How the fuck you didn't know that? Oh, you's a dropout. Oh. Nigga, you can't say no shit that... Man, get the fuck out of here, man. A nigga who ain't got a high school diploma, you ain't even got a GED, my nigga. You can't say... Nigga, you got a BOCES diploma. Fucking weirdo. How the fuck you was allowed to become an actor, nigga? Oh. All you had to do was be dumb with a look. That's it. Don't know nothing. You was dumb with a look, nigga. Somebody educated you wrong. You should go back to them and be tight with them. Not be tight with everybody, because you being tight with me, no freaky, nigga. I don't give a fuck, nigga. You supposed to be mad. I never liked you no way, nigga. Because I already knew as a youngster you was the fake nigga. You was an imitator and you perpetrated. You perpetrated like you was tough back then, and niggas was punking you, and niggas had you under pressure where you had to call people to get clearance to be in certain areas. Grand Pooba actually got you the pass card through the hood, nigga. The hood back in the days when I was a shorty, they had some real heavy hitters in the hood that was really getting at niggas. And you was one of them niggas that used to always be scared of niggas. That's a God-given fact.
So, look, if you don't want to learn what any of these words mean, that's fine. Just stop whining about it, right? Stop whining about they say this, they say that. Just learn what the words mean. It's not that hard.
He acts differently as it does here on Earth.
You also don't know what heat is. That's the problem too, right? Heat acts differently than it does here on Earth. Heat is a transfer of kinetic energy. So like when you have a hot object, the atoms or molecules are either moving translationally or vibrating very fast. And when something is cold, if it's a gas, the particles are moving relatively slower.
Niggas gotta just accept the fact that you fucking stupid, my nigga. You the same nigga that said bubbles go up. Bubbles go up? Bubbles don't go upward when you blow no freaky through the wand and the bubbles come out. They go up, yeah. They go out, they go up. But what do they do eventually? They come down. Cuz. So how bubbles go up without wind? There has to be some type of push for them to continue to go upward. But you wouldn't know that because you's a dumb nigga. That goes to show you that you was one of them niggas they just passed in middle school to get out the school. You went to class and showed up and somebody was doing your work for you and you passed. You probably was debating teachers in school and they didn't want you in their class so much. That's why you niggas was at the library a lot. You ain't even make it to the high school. So when y'all did that slow down video, nigga, you didn't have no type of education? You ain't have no education, bro? It's a different type of thing going on with you, man. Like, you really one of them niggas, cuz?
Or if it's a solid, the particles are vibrating relatively slower. And if they come into contact, they transfer kinetic energy. In the vacuum of space, there are virtually no particles. That's why the vacuum of space is very close to absolute zero, because there's nothing in there to transfer heat. So again, you're whining about heat. You don't know what heat means. You don't know what these words mean. You whine about...
You practically don't know what nothing means. You just know what your lessons was that you was taught. You studied those like you was in school. Because that was really school for you. So, shout outs to the 5%ers, man, for teaching them something. But he was one of them radicals that got the lessons and then said, nah, I'm going to just go do whatever I want to do and do it my way. I'm not implicating nothing, but I give the 5% Nation a lot of props for taking them brothers who was uneducated and everything and giving them an opportunity to learn something. But there's a lot of people that really went rogue with that, man. And it's not a good look for them good brothers that do good deeds for the people, man, by the people, man. And Lord Jamar, you just forsake that name, man. At the end of the day, that's why they denounced you, for real. I'm pretty much sure that those brothers was kind of hurt, more or less embarrassed. They was more or less hurt because they accepted you and brought you into something. You probably was that little kid that used to get yelled at a lot by peoples. Or nobody really cared about, paid attention to. And then you just went out and started doing things. You was a liar growing up. You was one of them kids that used to do shit, get caught, and lie with a straight face. Because you've been doing it for the past 30-some years.
Oh, why should I know what these words mean? So you can fucking make sense when you talk, idiot.
That's scientism. That's not something that you and I can test for ourselves.
Have you heard of a telescope, genius? If you want to know how light behaves in space, get a fucking telescope and look with your eyeballs. Did you know that you can look into space with a telescope? Have you ever been to an observatory? Right? You could look at all the displays and learn something if you know how to read.
You don't believe that shit is real. You don't believe that shit is real. You don't believe you can see into the stars in the atmosphere with a telescope, the right telescope. You don't believe that. You just believe that you have somewhat of a pineal gland that's open, no freaky, and you can tell what's happening with the fucking world. Like, you ain't even past ninth grade, nigga. That means you got in ninth grade and it seemed like it was too challenging and too hard, no freaky. It was too difficult for you. And you said, I ain't doing this shit. You got intimidated by ninth grade. How you, the God, we ain't even gonna call you the God no more, because I'm not even gonna take that, and because I'm not referring it to those brothers. Peace to those brothers. But you, Lorenzo, you was scared and intimidated and defeated by ninth grade. There's nothing you could tell no fucking body.
Not sure.
Your podcast is a bunch of lies, and them niggas who's following your shit and giving you money, you're the deaf. No, what they say, you're the blind leading the blind. You're the most uncivilized, civilized person amongst the uncivilized. That's what you said. We gave you that title.
If you are illiterate or not. And then you can look out of the telescope and you can look at objects in space for yourself. Give it a shot. I recommend the moon. Try that one. That's nice and close, so you'll see it in a lot of detail. And try wrapping your head around how you could possibly pretend that that's fake or whatever the fuck you think about the moon.
That's something that we have to believe what's being told to us. And the last time I talked to you, you said, I'm not a scientist. I said that. And I said, yes, you are. We're all scientists.
We're not all scientists.
We're not. And I agree with Professor Dave. This nigga's bugging. What's wrong with this man? This man was on, man, what was this man doing at a young age, man? Like, where did you get your motherfucking thought process from? Like, your thought process is all twisted, bro.
Scientists are scientists. Scientists are people who do science as a job, right? I have quite a bit of education and knowledge in the sciences, and I'm also not a scientist. I don't call myself one. I'm a science communicator. So no, scientists are scientists, and non-scientists are not scientists. And of all the non-scientists, you are possibly the most not a scientist person in the entire fucking world, or at least tied with every other flat earther.
First of all, let me just say, do I seem like a weirdo to you, Vlad?
Absolutely. You're an absolute weirdo. 100% weirdo. If you asking a weirdo, if you look like a weirdo to him. How you gonna ask Vlad, do you look like a weirdo, and Vlad's a weirdo, nigga? How, bro? Like, that shit don't make no sense. That shit is crazy.
World, or at least tied with every other flat earther.
First of all, let me just say, do I seem like a weirdo to you, Vlad? Yeah. Like, as long as you've known me, do I seem like an intelligent person to you? Yes.
Wow. I don't know. Is Vlad?
That means Vlad is just as dumb as you are. Swear to God, nigga. That just proved everything that everybody has believed and thought, nigga. Vlad is dumb too. You dumb. These niggas is dumb out here. I'm exposing him. What's up? I'm exposing this nigga because you was part of a group, Brand Nubian, and you was the wackest nigga in the group, like Fat Joe said. And now you're proving that you're dumb, nigga. Nirashell does not accept you. We're not claiming you, nigga. We're not claiming that stupid shit. We're not claiming that. Nouveau's not claiming that shit, bro.
That guy is, but he must not know a lot of people because Jamar is one of the dumbest people that I have ever encountered on the internet.
Right.
Okay, so
But I
hang
disagree
on a
with you
second.
on certain points.
Hang on a second.
Yes.
Hang on a second. So
Shit is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Shout out to Professor Dave. Shout out to Professor Dave, man. This nigga's just reading you, bro. Everybody, mad niggas knew you was fake, but niggas didn't want to call you on it. Niggas from the town didn't want to call you on it because niggas wanted to get in.
I got it.
Niggas wanted to get in the parties in the clubs where y'all was performing. Niggas was eating, no freaky. But niggas didn't say, yo, you bugging, nigga. What type of theories you got, bro? And then you know what it is.
Yes, hang on a second. So, first of all, I got into this trying to disprove it. I thought it was fucking ridiculous.
Every goddamn flat earther says this. Every flat earther says this. No, you didn't. You got ensnared by the dumbest hoax on the entire internet because you're one of the dumbest people alive, right? Relatively intelligent people or people of average intelligence fall for hoaxes that are somewhat more credible. So like anti-vaxxers, anti-vax is dumb and bullshit, but if you don't have a significant education in, virology and epidemiology and immunology, right? If you don't know how the immune system works, which how could you, unless...
That means if you don't do research, never mind the Rex. If you don't do the proper research, nigga, you're not gonna know no actual factual shit. And that's a lot of people. A lot of people don't like to do research. And it's showing that you don't like to do research. You just be guessing, nigga. You like the niggas who rewrote the Bible so many motherfucking ways to the way you wanted it to sound like in your head, the way you thought it would be. You're one of them type of people.
You actively learned how the immune system works, which takes effort, and maybe you didn't study science, right? Then you have these very convincing, I'll admit, no flat earth priests are convincing, but there are anti-vaxxers who make a convincing case. They say, look at this study, right? And you don't know that it's not a legitimate study. How can you know that? It looks like a real study. That's what average intelligence people fall for. In order to fall for flat earth, you have to be one of the dumbest people alive, because basic logic and spatial reasoning dictates that the earth is a sphere, which is why we figured it out 2,500 years ago. All you have to do is look at the celestial sphere, understand celestial navigation, that kind of stuff. So that's why that is the case.
Years ago, you asked me this. You asked me about flat earth on this show. And I was like, that's some bullshit, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, you said that?
Yes.
Yeah, look it up. Okay.
Look it up.
Somebody look it up. Because if you said that it was some bullshit back then, why are you saying that the earth is flat? If Vlad had asked you that question and you said it was some bullshit that the earth isn't flat, how the fuck you saying the earth is flat now, man? You heard what you just said?
Yeah. I was like, that's ridiculous. I can't believe anybody's even questioning it. So when it was brought to me, I was like, I'm going to get into this to just disprove this nonsense and be on my way. But the more you really look into it, instead of just going with the ha-ha shit online and the funny, you're a guest in the House of Science, once you really start looking into it and you start seeing certain things for yourself and not just taking in what with this Rockefeller school system, Carnegie Mellon,
Yo, you sad, bro. You are a really sad individual, bro. You really just proved that you really a dumb individual, and people gave you a whole lot of credit for a very long time for no apparent reason. Niggas is finding out your real life, nigga. You was a fucking dummy. You didn't graduate. You dropped out in the ninth grade, but you are this. You're trying to act like you know science. Then you get all defensive and you get emotional when somebody talk the truth to you. But you start talking shit to people like niggas is fucking soft, no freaky nigga. I'll beat you up, my nigga, gangster. Let's
all of this crap. You're just parroting what some dumb fuck yoga teacher told you on YouTube that made you feel smart and special. That's it.
Shit that's been rammed down our throat since these people came into power here in America. And
what are you talking about? What the fuck is you talking about, son? Now you making it about race now. Now you just going off into see that been you. See, you've been like that for a long time. When you start recognizing the truth is what it is, and it ain't what you started being it out to be, you start deflecting. You start finding other ways to motherfucking grab somebody's attention away from the fucking truth about to be exposed. But what you do is you expose another lane of yourself. You're a racist on the low too. I don't give a fuck how many white friends you got. They now know that you are a racist motherfucker. And if they did before, some of them ain't even around you no more. And I guarantee you some of them white boys could probably beat you the fuck up too.
Again, we've known the Earth is a sphere since classical Greece at least. Okay, so this whole until Rockefeller came into power, what the fuck are you talking about? We've known the Earth is a sphere for 2,500 years. We figured out that the sun is the center of the solar system like 500 years ago. Okay, so even that, and that's hard to figure out. That took some actual sophisticated data. One thing I like to say is that flat Earth is so dumb that I could have figured out that the Earth is a sphere by myself, right? I could be in an ancient tribe or whatever. I could, 2,500 years ago, I could be somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and I could just stare at the sky a bunch and travel a little bit and figure it out on my own. Heliocentrism, definitely not. Could not have figured that out on my own. That's way trickier. But flat Earth it's just.
I send my prayers and my love to the family, beloved.
So indefensible and just the dumbest thing that any human can believe. So all of this Rockefeller crap, it's just what are you even trying to do with this, man?
And shit that has flourished around the world. All I can say is this. They say the Earth is moving at 1,000 miles per hour.
Is that what they said?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean around the sun?
That the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, right? Just answer yes or no. Do you feel like you're spinning?
Yo, you're dumb, cuz. Damn, man. You're like, the more you talk, the more dumb you sound, man.
We talked about this, man. Like, how do you not learn your lesson when you get dunked on so hard and then you just repeat the exact dumb shit that I dunked on you with? Where is your self-awareness? The Earth spins once per day. It doesn't matter that the linear tangential velocity at the equator is 1,000 miles an hour. It spins once per day. Remember when you lost your mind and you couldn't even answer what a day is because you were so embarrassed? It spins once a day, and again, you don't feel motion at constant velocity. What are you not getting here? Have you been on an airplane before? An airplane is going 600 miles an hour or whatever it is, and when you're at cruising altitude, moving at constant velocity, you feel like you're sitting in a fucking chair at home, not moving, right? And don't give me, turbulence. Turbulence aside, I'm saying if there's no turbulence, it feels like you're just sitting in a chair. You can walk up and down the aisle. You can jump in the plane. You don't fly to the back of the plane at 600 miles an hour, right? Same with a car. If you go on the freeway, if you're going constant velocity, you just feel like you're sitting in a chair and the Earth is the exterior is moving past you. It's called relative motion. Only when you put your foot on the accelerator or on the brake, you feel that, because you feel acceleration. When acceleration is occurring, a force is being applied, and you can feel forces. You do not feel motion at constant velocity, you brain dead hick. Get that through your skull.
Yes, Earth's rotation speed at the equator is approximately 1,000 miles per hour.
Do you feel like you're moving? Yes.
What kind of fucking question is that, bro? Do you feel like you moving, stupid? Your days go by, how that happens?
Or no?
No, but I also don't.
No, you see?
But I also don't feel like I'm moving.
Two stupid niggas having a conversation about shit they know nothing about. And he's feeling some type of gratification because another dummy says no to his answer. So he's like, yes, you proved me right. I told him you proved me right, Vlad. But Vlad is a dumb nigga. If you listen back, he says he doesn't know anything about that. So you just asking questions. You that kid that be like, yo, but I'm saying though, does it? And you like, well, no. And you be like, yes, thank you.
But I'm on a plane or a car.
Sure you do.
No, I don't.
Come on, stop it, Vlad.
No, I don't.
You know that you're moving.
No, you don't. You know that you're moving because you're not an idiot and you know what cars and planes are, but you don't feel it. You don't feel it corporally in your body. You don't feel it viscerally, right? Your body cannot tell.
But to make a long story short, man, after all this, right? And after all this man has done to prove you out to be wrong on Godfrey's show, this is all you end up saying.
But I definitely was not myself that night. And I thought certain people were my friend, you know? And you don't want to believe that your friends would do certain things, but yeah, it's definitely possible. But yeah, I was just not in my right state of mind. I apologize for allowing y'all to see me lose my cool. Yeah, that's what happened. But I definitely was not.
He apologized for y'all seeing him look like a fucking fool, not lose his cool. Lord Jamal, you been a dummy. And now to know that, nigga, I'm more educated than you, and I ain't even really gonna get into the depths of all that. You know the lessons that you was taught. You was born a follower. At the end of the day, you was born a follower who turned out to be a stupid leader to some stupid ass people. I'm not saying everybody else. Some stupid ass people following you and donating to your motherfucking cause. They dumb, my nigga. And they don't know that you playing them. But for you to say somebody had drugged you, that shit is crazy. Now, if you happen to face a defamation lawsuit or a slander lawsuit, remember your stupid ass initiated it. The energy you put out, you get back.